Holy shit, everybody. It's good to see ya. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to have you guys in our stream today. Good morning. Good morning. I just woke up, actually. I physically just woke up. And I realized this morning as I woke up that it is in fact Monday, which means we are working with a new set of characters. Don't worry, we're not going to be on the screen. We're going to be looking at the new stuff for released characters, Cinq Meursault, as well as the new Zwei, Greatsword, Sinclair. So crazy they had to give it to us twice. That's actually insane. Dude, it's actually crazy. I'll be honest, I didn't expect them to release the new characters so soon after they just released the other ones. Or they just released, what's her face? The Greatsword version of... Ishmael. I'm guessing they're trying to like push everything through before we get the new season. Either that or like it'll release around the same time. But it's seemingly like these characters are gonna release like very, very soon. If I look at Ishmael's stuff, like she still has like 10 days left on her banner. So it's not like they're gonna like really push the release like super far, but I guess hard to say. In any case, they did already release the skill breakdown stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and read through all the skill stuff, and then if you're joining us in the VOD as well, good to see you as well. Welcome in to the viewers. Good to have you. Good to have you. We're going to look at the skills. One of them, I guess their banner is going to be together because one of them is a 2-star and the other one is a 3-star. So yes, we are looking at the Zwei West Section 3rd Greatsword Sinclair, as well as the Cinq West Section 3. So Cinq West is not where the other Cinq characters are from. The other characters are from Cinq Association South. So this is like a different division. Let me just quickly do this real quick, just so you can see it a little bit slightly better. Yeah, make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting because it's going to be a new Cinq division, which means that they're going to specialize in something different. Let's take a look at these skills, and we'll break them down one by one. We're going to go ahead and probably start with the Sinclair one, just because I think their Sinclair one is going to be a lot shorter, and so you won't probably find the need to sit and ponder for too long. But let's go ahead and take a look at this Sinclair stuff. We already have the numbers as well. I have up the let me see. Let me bring up this Zwei one too. Let me also bring up this Zwei, and then we'll go from there. So let's see right here. Yeah, she does count as Zwei West. Fantastic. So we have this Zwei up as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Sinclair one first. Zwei Section 3rd Sinclair, the 2-star identity as part of the patch. Let's zoom in right here. Fantastic. Sinclair, suppressing. So first skill, his S1 is going to be suppressing. On use, gain aggro. On use, also gain next turn. On use, also gain defense level. If the target has plus tremor, a certain amount of tremor count, gain clash power. So basically the same as what we're looking at from the other Zwei character. This Zwei West Ishmael. Clash win, gain tremor. Hit after clash win, which is not the same thing as this the Ishmael one, which is just on hit. Hit after clash win is a little bit more conditional, meaning you have to clash. Whereas something like the Zwei West, Ishmael gets it on hit regardless. So hit after clash win is cool if you can win clash. Hit after clash win is not so cool if your numbers suck ass. And honestly, the 2-star version of this Zwei unit might be just a little weaker. On hit gain defense level up. Okay, so it's still very similar. Not the same number. We'll take a look at the numbers in just a second here, just to compare. But the second skill is called Battle Preparation. Gains aggro, as per usual. Gains defense level for every tremor count, as per usual. On clash win gain tremor count. Okay, so another way to fuel his tremor count, because he's also going to be the same thing, where you'll gain coin power. I mean, clash power in the first one, coin power in the second one, from clash winning. Number 1, hit after clash win on 2 other allies with the lowest HP percentage apply. Oh, so this one is gonna be more. This is like a uniquer ability comparative. It's like kind of like the other Zwei unit from before. I think it's Altus, or it might be Faust that gives it to their team. Applies defense level up for the next turn. Cool. So on the allies with lowest HP. So it's kind of like a defensive for the rest of the team. On hit, but this is only on clash win though, so it's gonna be still a little bit more niche. On hit, on 2 other allies with defense level up, applies defense level up on the ally divided by X. Offense level. Oh, offense level up. Just this is more like a Zwei unit that we've already have. You know, they're not including not including Ishmael, like previous Zwei section units with the offense and defense level up. Very, very cool. But like also now with like tremor included. So kind of like this is the unit that bridges the gap between old Zwei and new Zwei. I think it's really funny because Zwei, we already have a Zwei South section Sinclair. And he's also tremor, but he's a little bit of struggle street, you know, like all things considered, he's a little bit struggle street. So I think it's funny they printed a second Zwei. They're like, hey, sorry guys, you know, we messed up. We messed up with this guy, you know, 1 coin 4 plus 6. This guy's never hitting anybody, okay? Granted, now like with the other Zwei, with Ishmael, you can like take a clash for him and then, you know, actually be able to see him clash. But right now, it's bad, dude. Like on clash lose inflict tremor, like I guess you're trying to lose the game, but in like how many instances do you really want to lose the game? You know, and so this ID basically never sees use. Obviously, like they made him weak for the purpose of specifically losing, which is I think they realize that it feels bad to make a character that wants to lose. You know, like this is the one till he hits. It's this 20, but 20 on a coin skill 3 is kind of weak still, which is why we never see him being used. Last one is called Fence. Skill 3 Fence. Gain defense level up for every tremor count on self. Very cool. Gain coin power for every X defense level up on self. So a lot of same as the Ishmael. A lot of ways to get defense level up for himself, and then he gains, you know, the ability to clash. Especially with coin power, very great with a skill with 3 coins. You get triple the value, obviously. On hit, on 1 other ally with the lowest HP percentage, applies defense level up. Solid. Consumes up to, so this is the same as Ishmael's skill, which consumes your tremor count and then applies. Oh, not the same. Inflicts the same amount of tremor count on the target. So this is kind of going to be like the foil to that Ishmael. Because what Ishmael does, the Zwei West Ishmael, she will consume all her tremor count and then apply tremor potency. And then he will consume his count and apply count. And so then you can get both of the numbers up really high, which is going to be good because a lot of characters, when they pop tremor burst, you're going to find that you know, they will be eating away a number of the tremor count, and when your count drops to 0, then you won't have any more tremor. You have to rebuild it up from scratch. So having someone that can really build up tremor count is important. Right now, I think like one of the ones we used to use for a long time, is going to be LCCB System Manager Ishmael. This is the one that we use for a long time for Tremor because she applies with Quake rounds, her S2, which she gets 2 of. She applies 8 Tremor each, plus 2 Tremor count per bullet. So a total of 16 plus 4, which is like not pretty sizable. And then, you know, with addition of Suppress giving you 1 free Tremor burst with no countdown, which is pretty good. But now I'm guessing they're trying to push you, since LCCB Assistant Ishmael is getting replaced by Zwei Ishmael, because Zwei Ishmael just like is like an SSS plus tier unit, might be one of the best units in the game, if not the best unit in the game, just due to her like overall versatility and ability to be slotted into any team necessary. Since she's replacing herself, she used to be the best tremor count, like one of the better tremor count applicators on a budget, of course. And since she replaced herself as the best unit, they're giving you another unit to do her job. Because the Zwei West Ishmael applies mostly tremor potency, which is good to rack up scores, as in like using what's her face, the Raja tremor character that has an ability called rack up the scores, or like the Altis's daring decision. That skill also tremor bursts a lot as well, and you need a lot of potency for that. So definitely, probably, this is the character you're going to try to run secondarily. I think, doesn't Sinclair also have... Hold on. Doesn't Sinclair also have a... Is his Cavernous Wailing a Rupture? Oh, it's Blubber Bubble. Oh, that's... I guess you could still run it technically, since it does gain aggro. Like, you would still probably want to run something similar. I think Sinclair still does struggle with a little bit of the ego stuff. Like, the reason why you would run, you know, like before you wouldn't even run someone like Honglu, but then Honglu became the Tremor God. Because not only did he get the Detective Honglu, he also got Cavernous Wailing, which is an insane ability. Sinclair, I think you're still gonna struggle to put Sinclair into a Tremor team, even though he is supposed to be Tremor. At this point in time, I don't know if like they might release a Sinclair ego that is good for a Tremor team, but right now, like realistically, you're looking at Sinclair's West, and you're thinking like, what do I even run with him, like in terms of ego wise? And you don't really have that many options. Maybe like next season we're gonna get some more stuff for Tremor, but realistically speaking, next season is gonna be mainly probably gonna be Bleed support, because Bleed support has been needed for a while, and definitely Rupture support, which I think is by far like the weakest out of the different stackable like potency stuff. Like Sinking is doing really well right now because we just got Earl King, and we just got like a lot of Sinking support overall, and then Rupture, I mean, Tremor has been eating so good with like the new way that we've been stacking Tremor with like the Tremor reverb stuff, which is basically like Sinking 2. So we got Sinking and Sinking 2. Bleed has been doing like not so well because a lot of the Blade lineage characters kind of mainly do potent like poise plus Bleed. So they kind of double dip, and there's not really enough to keep it up. A lot of the times you're probably going to be running, you know, a lot of other characters outside, and basically being carried by Bamboo Hat Kim version of Meursault. And so Bleed needs a little bit of help, and Rupture needs a lot of help, because right now Rupture only really has 7 section as their main applicators, and 7 section you know, like a 4+3 2 coin. Like a 10 is not bad, and then we're looking at like these it's not bad overall. Like, I mean, this version of Faust is very solid, but not bad is like not good enough, because like why would you ever run Rupture at this point if you could run, you know, Big Burst Tremor, or like you run a full Poise team? You know, like Sync even has really good right now. We'll look into Sync in a second as well, but right now it's just hard for Sinclair to do it. I think Sinclair is going to get a Hexnail Ego. Hexnail Ego is coming for Sinclair, but likely chance that's going to be for Bleed. And so you're probably not going to run it on this either. Although, I mean, Lust Gloom Sloth, pretty good. Pretty good selection of Sin elements here as well. Let's take a look at the passive. Maybe the passive will do it. It is another unbreakable coin passive, just like his older sister, Ishmael. The Zwei Knight's Greatsword form guard. It's a clashable guard just like Ishmael's. On combat start, gain aggro to this slot next turn. On use, gain tremor count. On clash win, tremor burst. Unbreakable coin. So the problem really with this version of the guard is that he doesn't get defensive stance. Obviously, you can't give a 2-star version defensive stance, something as strong as defensive stance like her. Like, I mean, realistically, defensive stance makes this character max value 2, you know, and then you can guard. This is the line that makes her good, is in the focus encounters. When you clash, when you're chaining the skills, you can draw aggro regardless of speed. And so basically Zwei Ishmael can take anybody she wants and like draw aggro from anybody, which is like basically like what a real tank should do. And the real problem with the Zwei units and defensive tank units up until this point, I would say, is specifically that they don't draw aggro very consistently. And since Sinclair doesn't have the same ability, it's going to be a lot harder to use, like to consider using him. Maybe you run him as a backup slot. Maybe you consider running him as a backup slot, like, right? You know what I mean? Because it is still possible you might run him, this version of him. Let me take a look at Sinclair's egos real quick, just to see. Yeah, like in terms of like, are you really running? Okay, so that's Mirachi. Sorry. Are you really running like Boatworks for the Tremor? Probably not, right? Right now, I do run him on the bench, but realistically, you don't really want to. And so, you know, inflicting 1 extra tremor is not terrible, but that's really the only tremor character you have right now. Maybe if Sinclair's passives are good, you might consider running him right here with this version. At combat start, gain defense level up equal to tremor count on self, so similar to the Ishmael in that case. Turn end. Support ability. Apply haste and defense level up to 1 ally with the lowest percentage HP. I mean, you might just run this over Molar Boatworks just because it gives haste. Like, while the 1 tremor count you get on Molar Boatworks Fixer Sinclair is okay, realistically, sorry, tremor potency is okay, realistically, like, it's not gonna really matter in the long run. The amount of tremor your characters really apply is going to be so much higher than just giving 1 extra tremor to 1 character. And the haste is very strong. Especially with characters, if you're going to synergize with like offensive characters, you're definitely going to run him on the bench so that he can just apply this passive better than, you know, Boatworks can, or run somebody other version of Sinclair. So overall, I would say, I think it's a cool idea. I think this is a cool idea for a new ID that fits into the Zwei West alongside Ishmael, but in execution, like, he doesn't have any of the things that would make the Zwei West Ishmael good, and so he kind of just feels like Zwei South, but again, you know, Given that obviously he does have like the defense level up coins, so he probably will win Clash much better. It does seem like Zwei West is more so of a division that wins Clash via gaining power through tremor count. You tremor yourself and you gain power, so you can win Clash with coin power up, which is good because losing Clash on the normal Zwei is so painful. It is by far one of the worst design choices of all time, and so it's good to see them like switching it up a little bit here. Let me bring up hold on, where is she? Yeah, this Vi Ishmael. Take a look at the stats. We're gonna compare a little bit of the skills. So skill 1, you're probably gonna be looking at 3 aggro. Similarly, 1 defense up for 2 tremor count. This one's on you, just gain defense level up, right? And then gain defense level for every 2 tremor count. So it's a weaker version. If the target has tremor count, gain Clash power. Oh, it's not self. Interesting. So a lot of the skills of the normal Zwei of the Zwei West Ishmael gains power when tremor count on self is high. His first skill gains it on the enemy. If target has tremor count, gain Clash power. And then you give yourself tremor count and Clash win. Which is gonna be great if they're already stacked, but makes you a little bit weaker in the beginning, which is gonna suck, right? Because it's gonna suck because you need to win Clash to gain tremor count so that you can win Clash. But you can't win Clash if the enemy has no tremor count. So at the beginning, you're gonna struggle to win Clash, which means you're gonna struggle to gain tremor, which is gonna make it harder for you to win Clash in the future. So like, it's kind of a catch-22. He's missing the part that starts himself up. And also he only inflicts a tremor count on the win of the Clash. So if you use another character to draw aggro, then he can't apply a tremor count. So he needs to win Clash in order to start like winning, but he can't win until like somebody else helps him, which is going to be a little bit awkward to run, especially as an on-field. Chances are you're probably not going to run him on field. Chances are you're going to run him on the side because he's just a little bit too awkward to run given the way he works. But you know, you might gain like 2 defense level next turn. Not terrible. Applies. I think applying 1 tremor count might be a little bit too slow. You might be seeing, or actually, yeah, you might be seeing like 1 each, so like 2 tremor count total could be possible. Skill 2, comparing it with Can't Let You Through, he has Battle Preparation. He gains probably around 5 aggro is about right. Maybe 1 defense level. It's probably similar across the board. Maybe a little bit less for a 2-star. Might be like 1 defense level per 3 or per 4, you never know. And then maybe at a higher defense level you gain coin power. So this one definitely going to be a crutchable skill you can use. It seems like S2 is usable as long as you can, you know, use your own self-defensive skill a little bit. You probably will also, this Zwei Knight Guard will probably also give like 10 counts per use, so you can get yourself started, at least for the S2. Only S1 really is a little bit awkward to use at the beginning, but I think it's still okay. Otherwise, Battle Prep looks basically identical to Can't Let You Through, except for this Clash win thing. Clash win thing, kind of sad, but I mean, once you get going and you start winning Clash, it'll definitely pay off, being able to apply to your other allies. Because on 2 other allies with defense up applies offense up. So you apply defense up and then you'll be able to apply offense up. So he's definitely usable for a buffer. Not sure if that's exactly what you need in a tremor team per se, because realistically right now, like a lot of the damage that you have on the tremor units, such as Detective Hong Lu and you know, the fucking her name Raja and Autis, those characters realistically you're gonna reverb, and then you're gonna apply their Tremor Burst, and then maybe use like Faust's Everlasting Ego, and then you're gonna be able to do like crazy burst damage. And that damage all comes from Tremor Reverb, and not necessarily from the actual skill itself. Really, the skill is only a vehicle in Tremor team to apply more Tremor and to pop Tremor. So it seems like he's trying to double dip in a way that it's like, oh, I applied Tremor, you know, but my buffs really help non-Tremor units more. He's kind of in like a weird on the fence position. Maybe in the future he'll be, unless the numbers are crazy, in which case like he'll be insane, but a 2-star most likely won't be. Final skill is going to be Fence, which is going to be the counterpart to Ward. Unlike Ward, which does 5 billion trillion things, especially with the big damage boost from defensive stance, this version of Sinclair doesn't have defensive stance. And so you're going to see a much lower damage output. The only real thing that is really good about Fence is this third coin ability. Consume up to X tremor count on self. Probably going to be around like 10. Because instead of just saying consume all, it says consume up to. So you won't be able to really give all of your count away. You're only going to probably give around like 10 or 20 max. Won't be that high. I suspect no more than 10 on this X value. If it's the same amount as tremor count on the target. Being able to deliver 10 count is actually really good. There might be a world where you run this version of Sinclair just for Fence. If you are somebody who lacks the units that can apply count reliably. It might just be like a turn 1 Zwei Knight's Greatsword guard to gain count on yourself, and then turn 2 throw a fence on the enemy so that you can like stack up some count. Because count is the most fragile part about Tremor. Tremor is only as strong as your ability to stack count, because a lot of units pop Tremor like 3-4 times and then they don't like really consider the bill. Like somebody has to foot the bill, you know? And a lot of times, a lot of the big Tremor damage units don't like footing the bill for who's gonna apply the count. No one wants to do it. And so maybe having a mule to like apply count is gonna be good for you. Granted, I don't have that much trouble with applying count, but if you're an account that doesn't have a lot of really strong units, this might just be a really great unit to round out your team. And then you get a Tremor Reverse for free. I mean, not for free, it's one count. Yeah, overall, I would say like it's not super mind-blowing, but it might just be the character you need. I would probably say this is like a B to C tier character, all things considered. In terms of like, you know, how useful they are and how good they'll slot into a team. I think if you have like a built team, you probably won't even consider him. But if you have a need for a Tremor unit, it'll probably end up being him, especially if you need a Tremor count unit. I think his other things are going to be okay. You might be able to run him as a 2 package, since he kind of pairs with the Ishmael, but chances are, you know, given that you only have probably 6 or 7 slots, we might be seeing 7 on-field units next patch, or we might be seeing 6 on-field and then 6 off-field. Given that 6 or 7 units is probably going to be the max we're going to see on field, like, is it really worth it to run someone like this Sinclair like in your precious on-field slots? Probably not. But you know, like considerable for newer accounts. Like I won't unconsider, because it is really hard out there, and like strong 2-star units really carry like early game, especially when you need to build out a lot of teams. So considerable, but only okay, I think I would say for this Sinclair. Okay, next is going to be the big boy. The big boy himself, Cinq West Section, 3rd Meursault. Mr. Salt, 3-star. This is the first Cinq West character, and I assume they're all gonna come into this, like, you know, whatever other Cinq West characters we have, it's gonna be all for. And he's not even like he's not a director either. He's just a Cinq West Section 3rd guy, so same rank as the Altus. Whereas he might be really strong, but he's not the current director. Which means we might be seeing some stronger characters from Cinq West coming out as well, who is like director of Cinq West or, you know, something like that, right? But it seems just from the get-go it's going to be similar in a lot of ways to South Section 3rd, but it's going to be this is going to be a double dipper, Rupture and Poise. So Cinq West is probably going to be the Rupture Poise kind of bridge. We're probably going to see a lot of like north, south, east, and west of all the associations that like try to bridge and overlap. Like maybe the north section or the south section is like the section that applies their one specific specialty, and the other directions kind of try to bridge gaps and let you run like multifaceted teams. If the game is trying to pivot towards you having 12 members, right? If you have 12 members in a team and they want you to field 6, right? Then the plan is going to be that you're going to need characters that double dip. They might not be great at both, but they're good enough at both that when a character dies, it's like a transitional unit. It's like if you have a full Rupture team or like a full Poise team, right? And then one of your Poise guys dies, then maybe Meursault comes in and he's both Poise and Rupture. And so now you kind of like, and then the next character is just only Rupture. And so you'll see like the ability to transition, because right now transitioning between two teams is a little awkward. But I think the point is they're trying to push a meta where you run 6 and 6, like a Rupture team and a Poise team, and then a few of the units in the middle are transitional units, such as this Meursault. So let's take a look at his skills. He's going to be compared with, I already have a few of them open. We're going to compare him with Cinq, obviously. We're going to compare him with 7 section, obviously, because this is, you know, Poise and Rupture. And we're probably going to compare him with the Radia as well. So a few characters we're going to, you know, compare him with. Let me just close all these other tabs. Let's take a look. First skill is called Allez. Allez. Mostly probably gonna be all like fencing terms. I don't know fencing that well, but you know, if you are French, you know, like tune in or whatever, like, you know, sound off in the chat or whatever. If this unit's speed is greater than the target's, gain coin power based on the speed difference. Very good overall. I'm gonna assume that he's gonna be like a high speed unit, like probably gonna be like a 3, like a, I could even imagine a 3 to 8. 4 to 8, something just like really high speed, because realistically like all of Cinq is about dueling, right? The Cinq association is all about beating your opponent to the punch, because that's really what fencing is. Fencing is all about being the first to hit. And maybe in like, you know, in heavier weights like Saber, you'll find a little bit of clashing. But realistically, it's like the person that hits first is the winner. And so all of these units are going to be really fast, which is going to be good for taking aggro, obviously. Let's see. On use, if the target has X Rupture and Y Rupture count, then this skill does not inflict Rupture potency with its effect, but does not consume Rupture count on hit. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of this. I think, given the first, which is going to be this, Raj is our first example. If target has 15 Rupture count and 15 Rupture potency and 3 Rupture count, this skill does not consume it. So probably something along this vein on Meursault as well. 15x and 3y count. Then instead of consuming, it'll just pop, but it won't make the count go lower. So these skills will bank on the ability to build up your Rupture and then have Meursault pop it over and over again. and like not reduce the count. So the other characters that might need to pop can still pop, but Meursault is it's like more like a status kind of rupture, similar to the Raja, who does the same thing. Definitely like a more touch and go style, and I could definitely see like Raja being run in like a tremor team. Not a tremor team, a rupture team, where you run her early, she swaps out, and then she swaps back in. Maybe a couple other Devat will be, Deviate will be slotted in as well, and you'll have a bunch of characters that are between Cinq and Deviate that like swap each other in and out, you know, and then you can pop Rupture for free. And that's like kind of like the vision of this archetype. The Rupture is like the fast swap mechanic. If it's unit speed, I could definitely speed like in the future, be like, okay, if you hit, then you pop crazy Rupture and then you swap out, or like you swap someone back in. So kind of like, you know, being able to fast swap in like almost like the Genshin kind of, you know. But yeah, I mean, solid skill overall. Gains poise, gain poise on use, gain poise on hit, inflicts Rupture on hit, but this will just like pop it, you know? If the unit's speed is faster than the target, inflicts Rupture equal to the speed difference. So a lot of Rupture potency being applied, and it's going to come in handy, especially if the Rupture count is going to be 15. You're going to need to stack it up pretty high. So very good to pop it early, or to bank it early. Skill 2 is going to be Fonte. Fonte, if this unit's speed is faster than the target by X or more, gain coin power. So you're going to be praying, similar to, I would say, Cinq, I think it's Cinq Don Quixote that has it. It might be this. Or it's either this or this. I don't know who. Yeah, it is a Sinclair. Where Sinclair gains coin power based on speed difference. This character does crazy stuff based on speed difference. You gain coin power as well. So it's very similar to Sinclair, probably like came from the same school. Is this idea that you want to prey on slow units. Cinq is all about preying on slow units. You get rewarded for hitting with a high speed difference. If the target has XY rep, probably going to be 15 and 3 again, so it does not inflict Rupture count, same as before. Clash win, gain poise, very, very good. On clash hit, gain poise count. Oh, this one applies counts. Really great way to apply. I mean, a character that applies count is already like my fave. Because realistically, you know, poise count being built up and being able to just like stack poise high is going to be your big nukage. Because what poise is unlike the other stacking mechanics such as bleed, such as, you know, tremor, such as sinking. Poise stacks in yourself, and so you use poise as a buff. And that's where all the damage comes from, is when you crit with the poise and you have the high poise count, you do crazy damage. That's where all your damage is going to come from. So being able to apply poise count like reliably and poise potency reliably is going to be like where all your damage comes from. Obviously you have supports as well, but this is okay. If this unit does not inflict Rupture, plus damage on critical for every potency and count it would have inflicted. Inflicts Rupture, inflicts add speed, inflicts Rupture count. Oh, so let's take a look at someone like maybe not this version of Cinq. Let's take a look at 7 section. Okay, granted you probably won't be applying as much as 7 section, but even let's say it says inflicts 2 Rupture, and at X speed inflicts like 2 Rupture count. Okay, let's say 2 and let's just say hypothetically 2 and 2. Inflicts it does critical damage for every Rupture count potency. So you're going to be stacking it pretty high, and once you get to a certain threshold, all of the rupture you would apply instead turns into bonus damage. So it's like other characters apply rupture count, and then Meursault banks it all, doesn't even reduce it, and then just rupture, big damage. And then plus you have the poise crit, so you're gonna crit often, you're gonna do crazy damage, and you're going to like keep your rupture healthy. Cause he is like a lot of coins. I honestly like a lot of the I would say characters. A lot of the characters that hit a lot of times really eat through count. And so a character that hits a lot of times, it's really great for them to not consume count. And so this is a really great second skill. It's a nuke, actually. It is a nuking skill. First skill is still like kind of like, you know, just some good damage. Second skill is a nuke for sure. Third skill, Salut. Salut, it's not no exclamation mark. I think it's cute that they have the third, him and Don Quixote have the same third skill, basically. If you're faster, gain coin power based on speed difference as per usual. And then also doesn't consume it on hit if you have enough count. Probably 15-3 again. Let me take a look at Raja as well. Yeah, 15-3 across the board. Probably something similar to Raja here. Clash win, gain poise. You do want to be clashing a lot, and it will be possible. Because, remember what I was saying earlier, how it was going to be awkward for the Sinclair to clash? Because he is, you know, on Clash win, because he might lose. Someone like Cinq Meursault will be happy to clash because he wins so often. Skill 3. If this unit, let's see, gain clash. If the target has focus attack Meursault. Okay, so this is his unique mechanic. A lot of the Cinq units have a mark that they apply. For instance, the Cinq Association South Don Quixote as well as the Sinclair apply, I think, like compelled duel. Let me see. What is it called? It is called declared duel. Yes. Not compelled duel, declared duel. The one that Meursault applies is called, we'll read this in a second, focus attack. If the target has the mark on it, you gain additional poise. So you win clash and gain poise. Probably similar to you know, this. So we're looking at maybe 2 poise count, and then maybe a lot of other ways to gain poise. Yeah, you gain poise equal to your poise consumed instead. So this is probably going to be your poise generator. Let's take a look. Deal more damage to the final coin. Hit after the clash win. Hit after the clash win, deal more damage to the final coin. I think it is still a little bit awkward. I think what the sad part about after the clash win is that you won't be able to get these bonus effects when they are staggered because there's no clash. Like, instead of on hit, it's just hit after clash win, which means you need to win clash, which means overall his damage is going to be higher, but when it comes to the big nuke turn, it'll be a little bit lower. So overall, I would say his damage is high, still. But hit after clash win is a little bit sadder, for sure. I mean, this is more balanced than the other one. This is more balanced than Ishmael by miles. Ishmael is insane. They're like, yeah, you know what, we kind of overdid it. Let's make him, you know, have some caveats. Require a little bit of extra skill to use. Deal more damage for every focus attack on the target slot. Interesting. Deals more damage on critical hit for every Y rupture on the target. Interesting. Good. Big. A lot of ways to increase the damage already of the poise. So poise increases your crit chance, and then this increases your crit damage a lot. So you're going to be seeing Salut, you know, you're going to hit rupture. It's going to be like 99 plus like whatever count. Imagine a 99 rupture. Imagine 99 rupture potency on the enemy. And you're just hitting like, the skill just does double damage. And then it also will do more damage to the final coin as well on these 2 hits. So like if the enemy is stacked high in rupture potency, You clash Salu into the enemy, and you're probably gonna see him, you know, hit, win clash with no coin loss, hit to build up the damage meter, pop, big rupture, it's 99, and then also like huge crit damage on all 3 hits. I could realistically see Salu hitting for like 500 damage, or like 700 damage, like on the regular. Like no sweat, light work, no reaction. Salu is like a 500 damage skill. Easily. If this skill killed the target or destroyed a part, you reuse this skill against a random target. We are Ting Tang Gang? This is the Ting Tang Gang of all time. So, Ting Tang Gang Hong Lu has this on his S3 as well, where if you kill, then you will do it again. He has it on this. I mean, that nuke is okay. Okay, Ting Tang Gang Hong Lu, that skill is okay. Like, it's really strong. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like 500 damage strong. Let me pull it up here. Ting Tang Gang Hong Lu. It is still one of the best Season 1 IDs, by far. But yeah, on-kill use the skill one more time. And it does have like crazy damage on the coin, but it is one time for sure, right? And it does more damage than bleed target. So it is like a crazy nuke. Like no, no joke. Like I'm not trying to like cap or nothing. But I mean, can you imagine the world where you break apart or you kill an enemy and you sweep the whole enemy board like 500, like total damage is like 1.5k? Totally in the realm of possibility. Especially if you're, stacking rupture high enough. Like it's normally I would say Disneyland, but this is not Disneyland. This is totally possible. Wow. That is so impressive. This character's gonna hit like a truck. Like multiple trucks at the same time. It's gonna send the person that he hits with Salu to another world, like straight isekai them. Here's the other skills. Defensive skill, it's an evade. Defensive. On use, if this unit's skill is speed is faster than targets by X or more, gain coin power. Let's take a look at the sync. I'll take a look at that at the end, actually, to get the numbers idea. Gain haste next turn for every poise potency. Okay. Gain haste next turn for every poise potency on self at the turn end. Wait, what? Is this guy gonna be like 17 billion haste? Is this allowed? Wait, is this okay to have? Gain haste next turn for every potency? You're gonna be like super hasted. You're gonna be like 70 billion super hasted. Dual live. Oh my god, he's an entertainment fighter. He duels like he live streams his duels on the. That's why in the artwork he's like talking to a microphone. He's a live streamer. Oh, it only uses once? Am I reading the old one? Did they just update? Okay. If that's the case, I mean, still crazy. All things considered, I think they realized that a Meursault, that like where you stack up rupture on the whole enemy team, like let's say you're fighting against like Sunshower Wolf, so Fox. And then you stack rupture on the whole enemy, all the enemy parts, and then you run Salu into his first like nose, and then he kills the nose, kills the body, kills the back body, kills the tail, and then like does like 4,000 in one hit. It's totally a possibility. That's why they probably have to, that's probably why they've limited it. Because the chance of that happening is actually not zero. You could probably clear like Mirror Dungeon in like 30 seconds with this character if it wasn't limited. So I can totally see why they would limit it. Like, what is this? Gain haste next turn for every X potency? Like, let's just say X potency is 5, 10, 5. I mean, even then, like 20 potency is still 4 haste, right? Even if it's at 5, that's still crazy. On hit with the base attack skills, on the slot it hit last inflicts focus attack Meursault. On base attack skills, so not egos, on the slot it hit last. So the last slot you hit will apply the focus attack Meursault next turn. If this unit attacked the slot with focus attack Meursault and defeated its owner or broke the part, heal SP. So self-sufficient SP heal. And now we can take a look at what this is. Support passive, fastest ally on Clash when gains haste next turn, which is very, very solid for a support passive. Although chances are you're probably going to on-field him. Maybe you'll get some usage out of him. As again, remember what I said earlier? I was like, maybe the kind of the direction they're going to go into is having 2 teams of 6. Right? So it's like poise team plus rupture team. And so you might get some juice out of him early in a support passive. And then when you swap out with, like, you know, let's say you have Raja up in the bench, right? You swap out, he swaps in. And then all of a sudden you're looking at, you know, his on-field skill instead of his support passive. So definitely going to be seeing a lot of value from characters like Raja and maybe like other rupture supports later on that kind of have great support passives and also great on field. And the point is to use both. Let's take a look at the focus tag, the mark. In focus encounters only, so not during the chain battles, but he's going to be a monster for abnormality fights and a monster for bosses. The unit that inflicted this focus attack gains the following effects based on the target's skill focus attack stack. Up to 3 times. Gain clash power, gain base power, gain base and coin power. Plus you're hasted. Plus you're going to be hasted. Plus you're going to be hitting the part over and over again. Plus you're going to do bonus damage when they are focused with Salu. Like, so what I'm seeing is, you just, this guy is never going to lose a clash against the boss. Dude, I can totally see a world where he runs Salu into a boss and he rolls like a 40. This is totally in the realm of possibility. You know, like 3, like not even 3 heads, like 2 heads and the tails, he rolls a 40 straight up. Like, not that high specifically, but like, you know, that kind of like overpowering coin. If when they're fully stacked up, right? Because he gains coin power based on the speed difference. If we look at Sync, if we look at this, he gains 1 point power per 2 speed difference. You could totally see a world where you're gaining 2 coin power from this, and then you're gaining like extra. This is like it stacks, right? So you get clash power, base power, and more base and coin power. This could be like 2 or 1 base power, 2 base powers, 3 base power. And then this has like a base power of, let's just say, I mean, let's just take the consideration of this guy, okay? Let's say it's 5 plus 4. So let's say he's like suddenly becomes like 8. And then he gains like 4 coins, so like 8 plus times 8. So 8 times 3. Like you're suddenly like, you know, 24 plus 8, like that's 32. Like very easily, suddenly you're rolling 32s on Salu. And who beats 32s? Basically nobody, unless your name is like Earl King. Like you're basically as like probably stronger in class than Earl King even. Okay, let's see. Expires if for a turn the unit who inflicted it fails to hit the slot inflicted with the focus attack. Oh, I see. So he benefits from hitting the same part over and over and over again, which makes him kind of a very... He's a very selfish character, like DPS wise, but if you run a team with him, like other Cinq members or like other members that apply Rupture to like support him, suddenly, wow, suddenly he's going crazy, right? And every turn, because he's going to be the fastest character in the room, he's always going to be the fastest character in the room. So he's always going to get easy pickings. Like, who's going to outspeed this guy? He's probably going to be like something stupid, like 4 to 9, you know? Or like even 4 to 8 would be insane. Exposes a unit who inflicted focus attack, it inflicts it onto a different slot, okay? Replaces if a different unit inflicts focus. So this is like for future when other characters from West come out and there's going to be multiple focus attacks. Imagine, right? That's what I was going to say next, right? Is that because it's Meursault specifically, he has like this really crazy ego. The regret from the Walpurgis Knight that gives him base coin power, and the leftmost skill on the dashboard loses base power and gains 2 coin power. And like, what's 1 base power to a G? Right? What's 1 base power to a G with 3 coins? That's a potential +6. Imagine hitting 40, man. That's insane. 40 dice roll on Salute. Good luck, man. Hello. Die. Goodbye. Okay. Let's start the next turn. If a slot inflicted with focus attack is no longer present, rearrange all focus attacks inflicted against a slot of that part in order of deployment. Oh. So this is kind of like oh yeah, for sure. 35 minimum for sure. Wow, that is really crazy. So you don't even waste it even. You know, I was thinking like, you know, if you break it and it's like all over, you lose all your stack, you don't even lose it. If it is inflicted is no longer present, so in the instance it breaks, or like, you know, you stagger them, I guess you will still get the, you know, so like even if you stagger, you will still get the focus attack to transfer, right? And then when you unstagger, it'll go back to the other slot. So it is there is a carryover to staggered. So this is a quality of life for sure. Meursault. Yeah, so this is gonna be a DPS monster. Because realistically, the other characters like Declared Duel, right? It is more about Clash Win, for sure, and Haste, obviously. This is like a super Declared Duel. Not only do you get Clash power against them, and base power and coin power, you also will be dealing bonus damage due to his S3. Because it also has... Wow. What a character, man. Let me take a look. Take a look at side by side with this specific. Let's take a look at Raja first. Right, inflicts 3 rupture, gains 1 haste. Very similar kind of character. Honestly, this Meursault is actually very similar to the Raja that we got earlier today. Russia seems on, however, is at least better than Deviate. I think Deviate is part of a vision. There is some kind of like, maybe it's like a let him cook angle, but Deviate to me seems like the point of Deviate is to stack rupture, stack, and then maintain the rupture. So at a certain point, you're not stacking, you just made like high rupture count or whatever, and then swap your ass out, and then pull in the big boy like Meursault. So Deviant is like your like advanced like scout squad to a stack rupture. So I think the vision is that rupture is like separated into 2 teams. Rupture stackers and rupture proccers. And then Rupture stackers will stack Rupture high, and then maintain it, and not pop it. Because if you pop, then you're useless, right? But you're gonna stack Rupture high, and then you're gonna see yourself out. Like for instance, with the courier trunk, right? At a certain time, you go strategic R&R, and so you're gonna pull yourself back out. And so the kind of the vision that I see is stack high, rest R&R, and then you pull in Cinq Meursault, and then you just start slapping people for like 500, 600, you know? In like clashes that are unlosable. That's kind of like the vision that I kind of see for this archetype. I think Deviant Raja right now is in a kind of awkward situation where there's not enough support for what she wants to do yet. But I can definitely see a world where, like, when what's his face comes out, the Deviant Yisong. I think Yisong also has one. I remember seeing him in the background of this art. Maybe once that comes out, you might see it happen. Like, all things considered, like, could be dog, right? But like, I think a world where Rupture is good. I mean, there's no world where you don't run Raja. Every team runs Raja. Whether you like it or not, this is like the most flexible girl in all of Limbus company. Do you need sinking? You have Rhyme Shank. Do you need, Tremor? Evervescent. You know what I mean? Like, do you need Bleed? Sanguine Desire. And soon also probably going to be Hexnail. Her Hexnail is probably going to do the same thing. Like, there's no world. Burn, you have First Match Flame. I guess Poise. Sorry, I forgot about Poise. My bad. I guess her Blade lineage isn't really that good. And I mean, and Poise is not really like a debuff, right? So, like, in terms of debuff teams, right? Like, when are you not running this girl, right? She has an AoE debuff, a procer for every single AoE, like every debuff imaginable, and she's gonna get more for sure. And it's like, oh, is the Vav Sanguine Desire too expensive for you? Okay, here, have Hexnail. Maybe her Hexnail might even be, Rupture. Although I think Rupture is gonna go towards the Rose Hunter egos. So Faust and Honglu will be getting those, right? Didn't know you played Limbus. It's actually all I've been uploading on this channel. Welcome, Angus. I'm actually like really super into Limbus. Unfortunately, I'm addicted. But yeah, it's looking really good. I mean, this is looking really good. We already have Sync West, like sync support in general, and so not syncing, sync. So it's still gonna be up, although like you're probably gonna run him with like currently I guess 7 section, right? Because the Sank members don't really apply as much Rupture. Like Rupture count and Rupture potency is all on that 7 section, such as 7 section association 4th Faust. Like, I mean, dissect target, coin power for every 6 Rupture, inflicts 3 Rupture count, inflicts 3 Rupture potency. Also weakness analyzed, which will increase your damage against them. Yamada looks like Dio, thank you. I love Dio. Dio's a cool little guy. One of my faves. Dio Brando. Actually, it was me, Meursault. I mean, yeah. So far, I think it's interesting because West really doesn't play super a lot with the other sync. Although, you can still run it because Declare Duel and Focus Attack are not the same. W song? Yeah. I was thinking, like, that's a thing, right? Is like, this Meursault really needs you to have high Rupture count. So although you could get away with some like double dipping, ideally the rest of your team is all about Rupture. so that you can get high rupture for Salu. It is possible for sure. I'm just kind of looking at the other ones to get a gauge of like what kind of, you know, like potency and what kind of, you know, stats we're kind of dealing with, because we already have kind of precedent. Like for instance, skill 1 Remise gives 2 count. Skill 2 engagement gives 2 poise count, plus another 2 on hit. You know, and declared duel is his way of getting single combat and stuff, is his way of getting poise potency, right? Because he gains poise equal to his poise count based on declared duel. Whereas Meursault gains poise this way. 7 out. I like 7 outis. I really like 7 outis. For a long time, I used 7 outis like the most out of all the 7 section. Skill 2 is glut. Yeah, I mean, like, he has great colors. He has great colors, dude. Pride, Glut, Gloom, plus a Gloom defensive evade. Ebony Stem. I mean, I love stuff that hits so much. I love things that hit like lots and lots. Ebony Stem, even if Ebony Stem was garbage, I would still use it. Which is not. Like, Ebony Stem is really strong. But even in a world where Ebony Stem is garbage, like, just seeing the attack weight is enough for me to use it. Because I'm an Oonga Boonga big number guy. I see 7 weight and I'm like, okay, go for it, man. Like, take my, like, 10, 12 resources. Whatever. You deserve it, Altis. Hags for life. Luckily, he doesn't have any consumes. I think the great part about this version of Meursault is that he gains a lot of poise, and then he keeps it. The most important part is that he gains poise, and then he keeps it. Whereas, yes, like Sinclair gains a lot of poise, but then he eats 10 of them. But Meursault, he gains like poise count, poise potency, and then he just banks it all. And you're just gonna be sitting on like, you know, like 60 poise. Bam, free crit. Bam, free crit, crit, and then they all do like, you know, it does a Y rupture damage at the end. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. This character is nuts, dude. This is like, in terms of like damage output for like boss battles, I can definitely see like, oh, you know, the YouTube video thumbnails, speedrun Mirror Dungeon 5 in like 2 minutes. And like one shot the Mirror Dungeon boss, you know, because with all the gifts and stuff, the boss starts off with like 40 rupture across the board, hit a couple times, Meursault comes in with the Salu, breaks apart, and then that's like a 1k damage, and the next turn he does it again, breaks apart, and then there's, you know, they're staggered, you go all in with your team, and then like the boss dies in like 2 turns. 100% can see the world where that happens. Like, it's not even like Disneyland. This is crazy. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like scared. I'm kind of scared about Cinq West, or like just in general, especially with the Zwei, especially with Zwei Ishmael. Now, like, where do you go? Right? This is not even a director. This is just a guy. This is just a dude. Like, he's on this, he's like, there are people from Cinq West stronger than him. Which might be, like, let me see, let's see who's in Cinq, right? Sorry, I closed it by accident. I didn't mean to do that. Let's check Cinq. Cinq, we have 3 members so far. I mean, given that Hong Lu and Faust is getting Rose Hunter egos, I can definitely see Cinq West, Hong Lu, Faust. Cinq Heath, maybe, for sure. I didn't see the full the full thumbnail. Let me see. Maybe that'll give me a clue as well. Let's take a look. Limbus Company. Limbus Company. Yeah, regrets point power. Yes, we're actually talking about that earlier as well. We're talking about earlier how like you could very feasibly see like 35, 37, even maybe like 40 coin power, like like Clash, and like just like because the point is right, like Salu needs to win all Clash. Salu is a skill that needs to win every Clash if you want to bank the damage, because all the damage is going to be in the last skill. Hit 1, hit 2 is final coin power, and then the last coin is the biggest damage hit. So you're gonna be needing to roll really, really, really high to preserve that final coin in order for you to bank big damage, right? So let me take a look at the trailer again. Is this the trailer? This is the trailer. I just want to see like his splash art. Maybe we have a chance. Oh no, it's not. It's not copium at all. Actually, it is actually not copium. Hold on. Let me show. Okay, so you put regrets to coin power. Okay, look at the number of ways he gains coin power. Okay. He gains coin power based on the speed difference. If you take a look at what Sinclair does, he gains up to 2 coin power. Okay? Let's say that's 2 here, plus 2 from regret. So that's 4 coin power. Okay? Looking over here. Focus attack. On the first stack, gain Clash power. On the second, gain base power. On the third, gain base and coin power. Let's say that's another 2. And suddenly 6, additionally 6 per coin. Times 3, that's 18 just off of coin power. And let's say the base. Let's take a look at the base levels, okay? If we use this as a, okay, let's say 1, right? 5 times 3, 15. Plus another, 12. Plus another 12. We're looking at, 27 just by itself. Like, isn't that like that's all in 27 all in coins is kind of crazy, no? 27 all in coins, kind of insane. And then let's say it's 5 base plus, like plus another, I maybe like 30, 35, 36. What do you mean? It's plus 4 base. Plus 4 base. Let's say the base coin power is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Like, I'm just talking about bonus coin power was the 18. Or like the 15. Like, I could totally see a world where your guy is rolling 5 billion. Also, look at this guy, man. Max 3 coin power for every 2 speed difference. No, this is definitely possible. A 37, 38, definitely possible. If he is anything like South Section 4 director Sinclair. I guess he's not a director. You'll be like, oh, he's not a director. Maybe he's a little bit weaker. But I think in the world where you're like basing it off of what other characters we have already, definitely a possibility to roll like, crazy numbers. But let's take a look as well. I wanted to look at the trailer because it shows his face. The orb. Sorry. Okay, who is this? Just random like men in black. I mean, you know, I can dream, right? I can live in Disneyland for a second. Okay, this we already looked through this ego. This Sinclair, it's all right. I think in the world where you don't have a reliable tremor stacker, this Sinclair is really good. But majority of the time, you probably will run him, maybe as a side. Okay, anybody in the background? Not really anybody in the background you can see from this version. And not in this one either. So no clues as to who's gonna be. But I'm kind of considering these two, Honglu Faust, as being directors. I think Honglu and Faust have very high potential personality-wise to be directors of Cinq West. Because Faust is very much a fencing personality, and then Honglu is just really good at everything. And they're both getting rupture egos. Like, there's no way Lasso isn't rupture, right? Because Rose Hunter is all rupture. And so you're gonna see probably these two be directors. And then when that day comes, all hell will break loose. No copium. Dude, Meursault fans are eating really good, no? Meursault fans are eating kind of crazy. With, like, all of this stuff. Like, what? Nosferatu? Fencing? She was a Zweihander, though? I mean, Faust can be anything. Faust, like, just download it. Like, there's nothing Faust can't do, right? Faust can just download it and she'll know it. It's all good. Like, there is a world where she's an expert in whatever. It doesn't matter. She could just do it. I think Honglu has a high chance of being a director, at the very least. Kind of where she's only a 2-star Zwei unit. I mean, Zwei. Back up of Zwei, okay? Zwei normal, Zwei south, or whatever it is. Let's not even talk about that, okay? I don't know what they were smoking when they were designing it. But Zwei normal, let's put it to the side. I don't even want to think about normal Zwei south. You know what I mean? For the Hongler? Superior Blade ID? What do you mean? You don't think Honglu can get a rupture ID? Because he's getting another. You don't think he can get another one? Because he is getting an ego for it. I think it's totally in the realm of possibility. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about bleed. Oh, sorry, I misread. Yeah, I mean, Honglu could probably get a bleed as well. Kuro does bleed. Let me take a look. Where's my Honglu? Hook Office Fixer definitely could be better. That being said, it's not a ban ID. Mid-range for sure. Kurokumo. If the target has 4 bleed count, use coin 1's additional time. Yeah, I mean it's bleed potency if they have bleed already, which is not hard to hit 4 bleed. Because it affects 1 additional bleed and potent paralyze. Yeah, I mean that's 6 bleed on the skill 3. Last coin on the chain inflicts, yeah. Last coin on the last skill in the chain inflicts 3. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of bleed. Like, there's no way Kurakumo is not a bleed. That being said, also a 2-star. You don't think Honglu deserves a 3-star bleed ego? Because I do. Why? Because he's cute. You see, listen, it's still a gacha game. At the end of the day, it's still a gacha game. And they'll give you the ID you want. Yeah, I think the biggest weakness of Honglu is that he has no bleed count. But realistically, I guess if you run somebody else with bleed count, it's all okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna argue bleed anyway, because it's not even, you know, bleed is not even part of like who we're talking about, regardless. But like, what I'm trying to say is like, you know, anyone can get anything. Like if they want to print someone cute, they print someone cute. Like literally her. Like, did they need to put Saber in the game? No. Was there a purpose of giving us another Tremor? Like Invincible God Queen? No. Did I need to max her instantly? Yes. Of course we did. It's still a gacha game at the end of the day, right? Obviously, you don't need to, you know. Let's keep it chill. We don't gotta get heated about clashing with Honglu. Some people just have bad clash power, you know, and then they just get carried by Ishmael. It's all good. Ishmael goes into whatever team you want. Losing clash, just use a tank. Just use Ishmael defensive stance, and it's all good. I'm kind of like worried about. I'm worried about the direction of the game. Because I don't know, like... So here's the thing, right? This game's gonna go on for 10 years. I don't know the direction of the game for like 10 years. Because they're gonna have to write this, right? They're gonna have to write all of like Kanto 1 to 12 for all of the members. And then they're gonna write another like pinnacle, like, you know, meltdown point for Dante. And then they're gonna write another arc. And then they're gonna write another thing. And then they're gonna write another arc. So like, there's gonna be like 36 Kantos in total. Maybe they'll combine some of the later stages, because like 36 might just be too much. But the thing is, there's 3 arcs, right? Like the projected storyline is all of Dante's Inferno, is it not? Because like a lot of the characters don't have like full arcs. Like a lot of the character stories are not even like opening. Like Raj's story ain't even like started. Basically nothing about, like, we got like some crumbs in time killing time, but realistically like nothing really happened. Like Raja needs a lot of work. And so, like, a lot of characters need a lot of work. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So, like, how are we gonna survive if we keep printing characters like Zwei, Ishmael? Like, how do you make a character stronger than this? Just bigger numbers, I guess. More text. Eventually, like, every character's gonna be an encyclopedia, and you're gonna need like YouTubers like Lazy Shen channel to explain to you the skills. Oh, dude, I can't wait. Speaking of, you know, new stuff, bro, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for a character with an offensive unbreakable coin. That will be like the coming of Christ second. Most fun team for C7 seems Zwei and Sync combo. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really good so far. I'm liking the direction they're gonna go. I think they're still trying to figure out where they want Rupture to be. And so there might be some Rupture Ego IDs that are kind of awkward. Like Raja by herself. I think Raja should have come out with a 2-star to help her. Like, it would have been made more clear what the archetype is supposed to be. By herself was a little awkward. But I'm also okay with just like characters coming out by themselves as well. Overall, like, you know, these two characters, very impressed with Meursault. Very excited to use him. It's gonna be a little struggle street though, right? Because he's gonna come out and then we're gonna have to... I mean, this Zwei Ishmael goes with anybody. Just slot Zwei Ishmael in any team. Call it a day. Sorry. I'm a memer, okay? You can't play gachas without having a little bit of fun. Yeah, I mean, overall, I would say very, very cool. Very, very strong. Not as impressed with the Sinclair. I was just reading chat. It's not what I proposed. Scroll up the chat a little bit, you'll see it. Yeah, I mean, crazy. I mean, every time I read this Meursault, it's insane. Like, what is not to love about this character? Okay, I just you know, wait for the Zwei Sinclair. I think he's definitely going to be usable for sure, especially with his S3. With his S3, he's going to be very usable in order, like, a very great applicator of count. I don't think anyone will be able to apply a count as good as him. Consume up to X tremor count and then apply the same number of count to the enemy. No one applies count like him. You know? Very solid. Very, very solid. His S3 is same as Euro Ryoshu. Yeah, but Euro Ryoshu... That is true, but Euro Ryoshu doesn't win Clash. I think that's the Euro Ryoshu's like main problem. Or at least in my experience, she's always the class jobber between my teams, which is why I stopped running her on field. But maybe I just like didn't like give her a good enough chance. Let's take a look. Euro Divya Ryoshu. Three plus 4, 4 plus 3, 3 coin. I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that. One coin power, 3 plus 5. Consumes 8 count on self. And then if the target has 6 plus tremor, it's 3 plus 5. 15. 1519 on the S3. Does she have a passive that increases? I don't know, man. 19 is not that impressive for an S3. Am I reading this wrong? 19 is not that impressive. I won't lie to you. I think it's good though. Sorry, I'm in a world where all of my units like roll 30, 32. For like, you know what I mean? It's not. It's good, not impressive. Well, that's what I said. I said it's not impressive. I mean, I like her. I just don't like her enough. And I'm probably gonna run this Sinclair instead. I think this Sinclair, this new Sinclair, will have a much better time winning Clash than she does. What kind of unit rolls 32 normally? Like all of the units that came out in recent days? I mean, even like, you know, even like the Grip Sinclair rolls 30, and then like every day, let's take a look. Every day, Wild Hunt Heath rolls 30. Every single day, Wild Hunt Heath rolls 31. Recent days, Earl King Heath. Have you been like living under a bridge? 31. I mean, even back in the day. This is all semantics. I mean, Grip Sinclair also rolls 30. Grip Sinclair also rolls 30. These are like some of the strongest units. Yes, and I use the strongest units. As somebody who owns everything in the game, except for Samjo, I guess, I just use the strongest units. Because I don't think. Enclair's mistake? I think Enclair is no more of a mistake than Zwei Ishmael. If you think Enclair was a mistake, then you think Zwei Ishmael's a mistake. And I like her. She's a waifu. Guy, it's a gacha game, guys. I mean, even she rolls like crazy. Dude, Zwei Ishmael rolls 32. Like, very easily. This character rolls 30s all day. Realized Potential Man rolls 30s all day. Like, multiple times a day. And so, when I play with these units, suddenly a 19 on a skill 3 like doesn't do it for me. You know, when the new girl in town strolls in and she rolls 30, like it says 5 plus 4 3 coins, and then you add on all the other things and suddenly she's rolling with her defensive stance and suddenly she's rolling like 32. She rolls 32 about as consistently as Earl King. It's impressive. Yeah, I mean, we're running, man. We're running. Yeah, that's gonna be it, I think. That's everything. That's everything relating to the skills. I think we covered it all. Very excited to be using this for sure. And we'll go from there. Yeah, I will have to see. I'm kind of like curious with the timing. I think the only thing right now I'm not really clear on is the timing of these banners. Is like this banner ends in 10 days, but the patch comes out in like 3 days. So are we and the notes are already revealed, so are we gonna get like 2 banners going side by side, and then like once both banners end, we get Season 5?
연설 시간에 맞춰 오셨군요.
Let me see, when does the season end?
연설 시간에 맞춰 오셨군요.
When does the season end?
기특하군.
It ends on the 10th. Okay, so the season's almost over actually. So I guess like when on the 10th it rolls over, we'll have this banner for another 7 days, but we'll also have the banner for these boys as like the first banner of the new season. Very excited to play the game, guys. Yeah, man, we're gonna be playing through the story. So when it drops, we'll just play through it probably in the morning of. Very excited to play it. But yeah, until then, there'll probably be 3 banners because there's this banner, the Cinq Meursault banner, and then Sinner specific. Oh, that's right. The Sinner. I always forget to consider the Sinner specific banner because I never roll on it. I mean, obviously, like if you're a new player, like you probably want to, if you like have a character you want to build for, like you're like, oh, I'm okay with whatever from that character. But I basically never roll Sinner specific. I don't know if like there's like really a point, really. Because like, you might as well just roll the on banner and then like buy whoever you don't have. Yeah, Kanto 7 is going to be really hype. I'm very excited to play. We're probably going to go through like the early game because we're going to lose like half our shards, right? Let me see my inventory.
연설 시간에 맞.
I don't have a lot, guys. I'm kind of poor now. I've not been like super grinding recently. We're gonna lose half our shards, and then I'm gonna have to buy them. I'm gonna have to buy the Meursault. I mean, I'll be able to purchase the Sinclair probably. Yeah, I probably should be able to. I can make the Sinclair happen, but the Meursault might be a little struggle street in the beginning, especially since the battle pass is gonna be sectioned off at the beginning. I've not really, as you can see, I've not been playing, chat. I'm only like level 569 on the battle pass. I've been slacking off on the mirror dungeon, guys, I'll admit. But I think like the first like week is gonna be like, you know, I think the first only like 20 levels, I think, something like that. Like not super a lot of crates to work with at the beginning, so we'll probably have to pull a few. Yeah, I mean, you lose half of them. When the season rolls over, you'll lose half of all your stuff. They turn into the threads, which is going to be good for me. And the crates are going to be gone as well. I think so, right? They turn into shards? Oh, so threads? Something like that. I'll have to check again. Anyway. Yeah, it's half shard cut, right? It's gonna hurt, man. That's the worst part, is like the beginning of the season's gonna hurt because not only is the battle pass going to be like segmented off and like locked off for like majority of the first like week, also there's no Mirror Dungeon 5. We're still gonna be playing MD4, or like it's gonna be closed, right? It's gonna be closed. We can't access the new stuff either. We can't access any of the new luxifications. Although I am very excited for 7. There's gonna be 3 new ones, right? I think that's what they said. There's gonna be 3 new luxifications for the cards, like 1 for each type, instead of being like, oh, like the 4 was the slash and 5 is the pierce, and you know this one, it's like 7 will have pierce slash blunt on a rotation, which is gonna be cool and nice. And then it'll still be open. Nice. Okay, that's good. That's good then. That's good, since I will need it for sure. And then thread, probably gonna be another one. The level cap is gonna increase until 50. Level cap increases to 50, and then the EXP stuff is gonna be like super like evened out, I think, right? Which is gonna be nice. Overall, I'm pretty excited. I think they plan to make like MD like a little bit more fun. What does this say? Cinq Meursault. Oh, it made you question your orientation. Sorry, I don't speak a lot of French, so if you know English, would be for the best. Yeah, it's gonna be like a lot easier to level, right? Welcome in, by the way. Sorry, I don't speak that much French. But it's true. Cinq Meursault also made me. It actually didn't make me question anything. I knew I was, sexually attracted to Cinq Meursault already from the beginning. I didn't question anything. Yeah, I'm very excited for that as well. I wonder if we're gonna get Aleph stuff this chapter or maybe next chapter, next canto. I think it's almost about time, I feel like, to start dipping into Aleph, because it's gonna take a while for everyone to get like wows. Probably gonna be like wows, and maybe at the end of the season or like the beginning of like next season we're gonna get Alephs. So within the next like number of months, I think everyone still needs to get a wow. I think we're still missing a few. I think Sinclair doesn't have a wow yet. Maybe Sinclair has the maybe Sinclair's wow will be the hex nail. So it's hard to say, but yeah, Sinclair's missing a wow. Gregor needs some help, guys. I'm gonna say it right now. Gregor needs some serious help. Please give my boy like the greatest ID ever. Please. Give him farm wash. I don't care anymore, man. Give him anything. Yo, you don't think so? Maybe like chapter 10? I guess everyone needs a few more wows, huh? To like fill it out. Oh, sorry, Vav? Who the fuck says Vav? Thanks, guys. Oh, Honglu doesn't have a Vav? Dude, I use Cavernous Wailing only. This is the only ego I use on Honglu. So much so I don't even remember that he doesn't have a Vav. That's so funny. His... Dude, it's... Cavernous Wailing is so strong that I thought this was his Vav ego. That is so hilarious. And, I mean... You know, the Blood Fiend Merkala, the Yearning Merkala is probably going to be his Vav. So he'll have one once we get the battle pass going. Solemn Lament. Yeah, but it's not an ID. I actually wish that Gregor got the ID. I think Gregor's Solemn Lament ID and then Yi-Song with the ego would have been cooler in my mind. And then it also would have given Gregor like something to play with. Because let's be honest, Yi-Song is like just strong across the board, right? Like, granted, Spice Bush is kind of like power creep at this point, but still very solid. Peckett First Mate, there's some use for it. And then Ring, very strong. I mean, I've kind of been turned on to... I haven't built him yet, but I've kind of been turned on to the Ring as of recent. You just want... I do want Sinking Deluge. I do. Okay, I'm greedy. I'm a greedy bastard. I like it. I like it a lot. I like status effects. I like debuffs. More debuffs, the better. That's why I love, like, unique debuffs. Yeah, I mean, Yi-Song has still been super strong. I mean, for a long time I used, what is it? Is it this one that gains the weight? Yeah, this one. Moment's Floral Breeze. For a long time, I like... Moment's Floral Breeze was my, like, crutch. Just, like, to AoE everybody for free, for no reason. You know, you use Blood Steep Scent to gain 6 Tremor, and then you bust it. A nut. Like, it's still good. It's still really good. And, like... Yi-Song didn't need another one, you know? Granted, I love it. And he has my favorite ego in the game. Sun Shower is my favorite ego in the game. Bar none. This shit slaps. There is nothing like more exhilarating. There is nothing more exhilarating in this game than paying basically nothing, hitting their entire enemy team for like 1,000 sloth damage, giving your whole team sloth up, sloth damage up, power up, protection, heal. Like just watching the buffs like come in. Nothing is more satisfying than this. This is like pure casino dopamine. I mean that and ruling this, you know? That and ruling this bitch. She's so good. Oh, she's so good. Plus all the Mandy song does barely anything until S3. Dude, this guy hits like a truck, man. It's kind of crazy that this guy exists. Like, how dare he? How dare he exist? He just hits so hard. This guy hits so freaking hard. Crazy. Like 500 easy. Easy 500 every time you bust a goodbye now. They're the same skill, chat. Yi Song's Solomon Yi Song's S3 is called Goodbye. Meursault also says goodbye. Coincidence? I mean, Salut is like hello or goodbye, you know? It's like, yo, salutations. He reloads, yeah, it only took like 70 years. I wonder if with Uptime 5, if they'll give, this might be like massive copium. This might be crazy massive copium. But please give my boy some love. I used to use R Corp Heath every day. And now I can't, because every time I try to use R Corp Heath, he gets to like the second wave, and then I use like a cut the grass, graze the grass, right? And then I use a couple of these, quick suppression, concentrated fire, and then halfway through it's just click, 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 slash. I'm like, fuck. You know? It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. Nothing hurts more in this game than using a skill, expecting like the damage, and then hearing click, click, click. No ammo, no more bullets in the chamber, and then just a final slash. You know, because you're finding it's a mistake. Yeah, it is a mistake. Well, you know, also is a mistake playing the game. Chat, let me show you something, guys. Let me show you something. This is how I play my gacha games. You bet your ass I press win rate. You bet your mother and your father and your uncle and your aunt that I press win rate. Because there is Arcanite at the top, and then there's Nikkei, there's Reverse, there's Limbus, there's HSR, and then on the other monitor, I play Zenless. I play 6 gotchas at one time. You bet your ass I press win rate. I need the units to win Clash, man. The units must win Clash, otherwise the dailies don't go by fast. And if the dailies don't go by fast, then I can't play MD. I play MD on full auto too. I use this Tremor team. I use this Tremor team to clear MD on full auto. Like the whatever the hard version is. It's so free. Like brainless, like super brainless. Just like run over them with the Tremor team. And then whenever you're losing, you just press I wish, dude, I wouldn't wish the white goss pussy on my worst enemies. You have some nerve. You have some nerve. Wow. Anyway, Tico Raya is better than Rose. Hilarious enough. You know what? You will learn this very quickly. I picked the one that I think is cuter. And I think Rose Spanner Workshop Rep with rack up some scores is a cooler payoff. I just run what I like. Like I don't even field her, dude. I don't even field her. I've never once used her. I just put her on the team because I think she looks cute. Like, do I really analyze abilities? Yes. Do I really think about team comp? Yes. At the end of the day, will I still pick the character I think is cuter? So good. Man, guys, that's gonna be the stream, guys. Wanted to be a short little stream, 2 hours, not too bad. Just wanted to look over the stuff. I'll probably make a video on these characters when they come out, but I don't want to make like too much like, you know, speculations and stuff when I don't see the numbers. Obviously, you have like precedent, right? Obviously, there's like precedent with like units that have already come in the past. I wish they kind of gave you the values beforehand, but I guess like it would defeat the purpose of like hype and whatever. But I kind of wish they would give it to us so we could actually see. Although then it would be easy for me to evaluate. Like already, if I want to pull for them, I wonder. Like I'm the only thing I'm scared about right now is like how they're gonna balance it out for like 10 years. Like how are they gonna keep printing units for like years and years and years? It's just not, it doesn't sound feasible to me. Unless they start like either rolling it back or I don't know. So they gotta do something. Right now it's okay, but like they just printed this girl and they're about to print this demon who's definitely gonna be a demon. Like there's no way this character doesn't hit like 5 billion. And so it's only gonna be like power creep from here. This guy is never gonna lose Clash. I'm never gonna see this guy lose Clash. I guess that's fair. LOR do be crazy too. I'm ready for, you know, this game to overpower creep LOR and then have people spend like hours and hours and hours like thinking about, oh yeah, which characters in which game are stronger or something. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. I'll probably make some videos on this in the near future. Not sure if I'll see me making a tier list, but maybe I'll just save it. Maybe I'll make like a season 3 tier list, because like that's the season that's coming back, right, in rotation. I think season 3 comes back since this season, the next season will roll out. We'll roll out the season 4 stuff and then roll in the season 3 stuff into the shop. So maybe we'll do a season 3 tier list or whatever. but we'll see. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you for dropping by. You guys, I'll be honest, a lot of you guys were in here, and I really appreciate that because this is a new fresh account, and I've told nobody. This is a new fresh side channel with like, you know, and I told nobody that we're streaming here. So I appreciate you guys coming by. It's like my secret project that I've been working on. Thank you guys, appreciate you. We'll see you guys next time. Probably gonna stream the story when it comes out as well. So in like 3 days or whatever, we'll just pop a pussy, Bob, you know, pop it out, read it. Very excited for part 7. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate you. Peace. Late.